Hi, my name is Catherine Kane,
And my name's Kaylee Hathaway.
and we did our Project Connect together, and we did it on cooking, and we titled it Healthy Living basically because neither one of us really knew how to cook that well before we did the project, but now we do a little bit better. And we wanted to do cooking because really fast food is sort of like a go-to thing for both of us, and it's not very healthy. So we figured if we cooked our own food, then we could save money and also make things that are much healthier for us. And our first Connect text, which we'll show you, is a Prezi, and it's basically going through our journey of cooking, and it outlines like the beginning where we started, which is this first slide. You can see it, and the rest of them are just recipes, and then it gets to the very end, and we talk about what was good and what was bad. So here's the first slide.
The first thing that me and Catherine made was homemade brownies, and it was actually personally my favorite thing to make because it was the easiest. But we started off with some flour, baking powder, salt, sugar, cocoa, oil, vanilla, and eggs. And we made it all together, like mixed it together to make the batter. And then once we got the batter done, then we smoothed it out onto a baking pan and we put it in the oven. And then when it came out, we just cut them into rectangles. And me, Catherine, and her mom all tried one, and we all decided that they turned out really well.
They were the best. And the next thing we have is the bow tie pasta with homemade Alfredo sauce.
And this was another easy thing that we did too. It was just basically a box of bow tie noodles with a half a cup of butter, cream cheese, half and half, Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of garlic powder. And all that is used to make the sauce that we made. And then once we made the sauce while the noodles were boiling, and then drain the noodles and put the sauce on top, and it was basically a finished project, and it turned out well as well.
And the next thing we have are sausage balls. And this was actually my favorite. We made these with my brother's girlfriend. Her name's Melissa. These are really simple. You just have a few ingredients. You have sausage, Bisquick, cheddar cheese, and pepper. And basically you do this mainly with your hands. You just mix it up all in a big bowl and like knead it with your fingers and your hands, and then take them out piece by piece and form them into little balls and put them on a baking sheet and put them in the oven for like 15 to 20 minutes and wait until they're golden brown. And that's when you know they're done. And these turned out really well, I thought. And the next thing we have is homemade mac and cheese.
The homemade mac and cheese was something that I did by myself. Me and Catherine split up two meals to make each by ourselves, and so I made this, and it was basically 16 ounces of rotini pasta with 8 ounces of Velveeta cheese, 1 1/4 cup of heavy cream, and then 2 tablespoons of salted butter. And I put the noodles in a bowl and let them boil while I made the sauce, and I cut up the Velveeta cheese into cubes and then put it all together and stirred it, and the noodles took about 10 to 12 minutes to finish boiling. Then I drained them and added the sauce to it and stirred it up, and my dad was helping me on this, and after we tried a few bites of it, we both agreed that we should have let the sauce cook a little bit longer to make it have a little more substance to it, but it was still very good.
Okay, and the next thing is the Parmesan crusted chicken. This was a recipe we just got offline, and it was really, really simple. It had 4 ingredients. It had mayonnaise, Parmesan cheese shredded up, skinless and boneless chicken breast, and dry breadcrumbs. Basically, you just put the mayonnaise and cheese in a small bowl and you just mix it up, and then you put the chicken on a baking sheet and you spread the mayonnaise mixture that you just mixed up with the cheese on top of each. And you sprinkle a few breadcrumbs on top of it and just put it in the oven for roughly 20 minutes, and then it'll be done. This actually turned out really good. The chicken was it was cooked well, and the mixture that we put on top of it with the breadcrumbs tasted really good, so I was really satisfied with that one. And the next we have the crab dip, and this was the one that I made by myself, and this one was pretty easy. My mom helped me, and I made it for a Christmas party actually. All you have to do is you have cream cheese and onion, but The onion we decided not to put in there because we both decided that might not taste really good, so we left that out and we just ended up using the cream cheese, the mayonnaise, crab meat that comes from just a can, and then garlic powder and pepper if you want it at the end. And all you do is you just mix it all up in a bowl, put it in the oven, let it bake, and you put it in a little dish. And the dish that we ended up using was a little bit too big, and the crab dip ended up being a little small circle in the middle of it. But it still tasted really good, and the people at the Christmas party seemed to like it, so I was pleased with that one. And the next is the shrimp scampi. And this is a recipe I actually got from my grandma, and my mom makes it a lot, but I've never tried to make it myself, so I really was interested in trying to make this one. It's just angel hair pasta with some shrimp and just a few other like simple ingredients like pepper, Romano cheese, parsley, and garlic. This one, it turned out okay, but it wasn't as good as my mom normally makes it. I think we probably could have cooked the pasta a little bit longer, and the shrimp tasted a little too fishy. I'm not sure why. It could have been the shrimp we bought, but I mean, it was alright. It wasn't bad. And that was the last thing we made.
And then we basically just put together some collages of all of the things that we made into little pictures.
That was the first one, and then we have another one right here.
And then each thing we made, we took pictures of them, but we also took pictures and posted them onto a website called Pinterest. And it's basically like an online community, which is our contribution. And it's basically where people can go, like, we put it on Catherine's thing, for an example, and you can go and you can look on it, and other people can repin it and like it, and it basically just is opened up to anybody online that wants to look at it, and then it may make them want to make the recipe as well.
And we got a lot of positive feedback from that, so that was really good. We got a lot of repins, people just reposting it for their followers to see, and a lot of likes and comments, asking questions about how we made it, and we were more than happy to answer any of them, so that was a good contribution, we felt like. And so then that was our first Connect text, the Prezi, and the next Connect text we did separately was the same type of thing, but we did them on our research papers, and my research paper was about starvation, and this is my picto chart that I made. And basically, it just has statistics and facts about starvation in America. It's becoming a really huge problem lately, and just how you can help in your community by donating money or canned goods and things like that.
And my Connect text was a pictograph as well, but my research paper was on obesity. And so here is my pictograph. That's the top of it. And then there are some statistics and things you can do at the bottom. And basically mine just talks about like poor eating habits and what you can do, and why that causes obesity and overeating, and how like oversized portions that are sold at fast food restaurants contribute to why most people are obese. And another major problem is the lack of exercises like that people can do, and gym memberships, and how cost effective it is for people and like low income families to be able to afford a gym membership because the prices are going up. And it basically just shows some things you can do and statistics of how bad obesity really is.
Well, that's our whole project, and overall we both were really pleased with the outcome, and we'd like to thank everyone for their time.
Thank you for coming.
Bye, Miss Main.